Blessing sisters, I offer a prayer that I speak the truth from my heart to honoring the dignity of all, as I bring forward a message that I feel is very important in these times. We are in times of such great, profound possibility and change, and yet when we look to the 3D world, what we see is tumult, uncertainty, fear-mongering, and destabilization. And yet, simultaneously, we are being flooded with light, which is actually the real cause of the destabilization, because all that has been hidden in the shadows is coming to the light. And if you're familiar with my work, this is not going to be new to you. You know, I talk about this as so many light workers, starseeds, and speakers of truth are sharing in these times. So I'm bringing this message to you because I wanted to share some reflections on a few experiences that I've had. Well, one in particular that I feel is illustrative of a very important something we need to be aware of. So, as we are moving through these times, we are being challenged to rise above the lower realm of energies of the battlefield, of the conflicts, of the fight, the warring, the hatred, the fear, all of those things of this matrix of experience that we were born into is still doing and unraveling with. So we will be challenged on a couple of levels. One of the challenges is simply the temptation to continue to look and to continue to wring our hands and be in fear or anger or judgment or, scratching our heads as to what the heck is going on here. So that's one level. But because of the plasmic light, the light pouring onto our planet from the sun, the increased frequency of our Mother Earth, all of that, another thing is happening as well. Our stuff is being triggered. All of our own shadow material, all of our own fears, judgments, patternings, things that no longer serve us, things that we cannot take with us into the light of a new consciousness are being stirred up. And it is our role to recognize that when we're being stirred up and to pause and to take the time necessary to have mercy and compassion for ourselves and to resolve them within. Or to put it really simply, when you're triggered, it's your trigger. When I'm triggered, it's my trigger. It doesn't matter who triggered me, what the situation is, what the circumstances are. It's my trigger, and my radical responsible action is to own it. Now, that doesn't mean that I say, oh, someone who's done something unjust can be, let off the hook. What I'm talking about is coming to a place of such high frequency love vibration that when I'm triggered, I say, I'm triggered. I'm going to go within and I'm going to work on that. Okay. So I know that many of you know this who follow my work and who are in my community. But I wanted to underscore it again because as things accelerate, again, we get to these levels of intensity. And with the summer solstice having just passed, or winter solstice for our sisters and brothers in the Southern Hemisphere, that was a key day, again, for energy increase. Those who were invested in keeping us all in the realms of 3D and all the benefits that have been gained by a few for the systems and structures we have in place on this planet do not want us to wake up and come out of the battlefield. They'd rather we stand and fight against them than actually recognize, whoa, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm triggered, I'm crying, I'm sensitive, I'm furious, all of that stuff, and go, okay, that's me. I am having that. Let me go within. Let me unpack what this is about. Let me take this skeleton out of the closet and do some forgiveness work, do some healing work around it, get some support if I need to. They don't want that. They want us to stay angry, attacking each other, them. It doesn't matter. Just being energetic food for that frequency. So here's what we want to remember. When we're triggered, it's our trigger. Now I'm going to take this to the next level. So it's rare It is rare that I have an encounter with anyone anymore, particularly a sister in the priestess space, who goes, I would say, over the line. Um, Over the line in terms of taking their own trigger and actually giving themselves full permission to unleash their hatred, their rage, their wounding, and attack another sister. I don't mean physically, but I verbally, or, making up stories or whatever. But interestingly, sadly, I had that experience yesterday in my community on Facebook. And this is what I want to say. So I tried to resolve it with, kind words, but also requests for clarification, etc. And it was just triggering attack, cussing like a sailor, real hate stuff. And so this is what I want to say. If you're triggered and you're feeling those rage things inside, witness them and do the work, or ask for help in doing the work. If you let yourself unleash your rage on another, I would invite you to consider an entity removal. I would invite you to consider that you are temporarily possessed by some kind of energy that is not just you. Because at the level that we are at, the people who are in, who would listen to this, we have to become radically responsible for our frequency into the field. So when we have hateful thoughts and attacking thoughts and we're silent about it, we're still responsible for those energies, and we still have to do the healing work around it. But when we actually unleash that energy on someone else, give ourselves permission to be attacking and hateful, and we do spiritual work, and we're open in the field of energy, I would say that there's an entity there, that you are being temporarily possessed by a negative energy, and clearing needs to happen at a deeper level. You still have to do the inner work. Why was I triggered? But if you are calling yourself a priestess and you are walking in the world of the sacred feminine, and you give yourself permission to attack another person and willfully choose to do emotional, verbal harm, you have become so triggered that you've opened yourself up to additional negative energies. So there's no judgment here. The only thing is clean it up. Clean it up. That's what we need to do. It's not about punishing or blaming or shaming. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we are in times of there's such openness in the multidimensional field that if we are not impeccable with our energies, if we are not responsible and self-aware, it is very easy for other energies to infiltrate our consciousness and our field. And then we create karma for ourselves that we have to clean up later. So this is not about judgment. This is not about blaming or shaming or any of that stuff. This is about taking an example of an experience and saying, how can this be a teaching moment? How can this be a learning moment? How can I extend awareness because of this encounter such that all of us can benefit? So if you've had this experience, the first thing, forgive yourself. First thing, ask your guides, your angels, your master teachers in the non-physical to help you. Ask Kuan Yin to come and show you the way of self-mercy and self-compassion. That's first of all. Second of all, make amends. As soon as you can come into a more peaceful, calm place with yourself about the actions you've taken, make amends. Apologize if you can. If that's possible. Maybe it's someone who's passed on. You can't do that like person to person, but you can do it in your heart, right? And then become impeccable in your awareness, such that when that you can very quickly recognize when you're triggered, and then you do something about it. You go within, you pray, you write it out, you express it in a way that's not going to be harmful to anybody else or unkind to anybody else. We need kindness and mercy and compassion more than anything right now. And we all have our triggers. We all have our triggers. I'm not telling you this because I've mastered it. I'm telling you this because I'm learning from it. And so I'm the kind of person who wants to share the learning as it's coming through. So that's my share with you today. I hope this serves you well. I hope that this is a support and insight for you, and an invitation to be more compassionate with yourself, more kind, more loving, and also to be more impeccably clear with your own energies, to be sensitive to what's going on in here, what your thoughts are, what your reflections are, what your attitude is, what your judgments are, what you're thinking about, and go inward and do the work of clarifying the obstructions to love's presence so that you can be the light you wish to see in this world. Okay, I'm going to sign off for now. May this be in highest service to you and all those you love, sending you much love in these times and many blessings. And bye for now.